Okay. So next, I'm going to have Green Farms. Before I have Green Farms come up, I want to say, what do you guys think of the meal so far? Fantastic. Round of applause, right? So this is an example of fresh produce, fresh cooking, fresh everything coming your way, and you're tasting it firsthand. So well done, everyone. All right. So next is Emmanuel. Emmanuel, are you there? Come on down, Emmanuel. Just give him a round of applause. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And it's an honor to be here at the launching of FRED among innovators who are working to redefine agriculture. My name is Emmanuel Fondi. I am founder and manager at Green Focus Farms. We have worked for the past 5 years and have known successes, but we have also known failures. Actually, we have failed in order to make sure that the aspiring farmers who would join us in future do not fail, because we know exactly where the hurdles are and where the loopholes are. So we asked ourselves in the course 5 years ago whether can short cycle African crops thrive in temperate climates like Ottawa, like Toronto, like Calgary, like Gatineau. For short, can African crops thrive in a temperate environment? So today I will get you guys to show to you our scalable blueprint and how we can use franchising to leverage on the work and experience that we have had for the past 5 years at growing a farm, at developing a farm, and particularly generating data, generating information to provide the answers that farmers need when it comes to starting a farm, developing a farm. Going from the unknown is like, we stay here, and if you go into the diversity of African crops, the first question is, how can I get the crop here fresh? You see, we've been discussing, and almost one here is concerned about the health of the food that we eat, the quality of the food that we eat. So one of the questions that we set out to answer was identify those crops that can grow here. Then we realized that the crops that can grow in this environment, we cannot definitely try to say we are going to grow every African crop in the temperate zones. So we proceed by elimination. We know that we can definitely grow the short cycle crops. But which short cycle crops can we grow, and how do we grow the different short cycle crops? So actually, picture a Nigerian family in Montreal or in Ottawa who craves bitter leaf or water leaf because they want to make their bitter leaf soup, or they want to prepare some eru to eat with some fufu. They have very few options. They are either going to the shop to pick up some frozen product that you're not even sure about the whole cold chain process that has kept it from where it was made to the final moment that you pick it from the counter. you're neither sure of the quality or the quality control within the whole process before you had the product here. So they have two options: either get that low quality product that you're not sure of, or you don't eat it at all. But you know, these cravings are such that sometimes you would have to, even if you didn't really trust that product itself. But what we need to realize is that the demand is real. North America's African diaspora spends over $2 billion annually on these crops. Meanwhile, most farmers here, those of us involved in it, sometimes struggle with low profit traditional crops. At Green Focus Farms, we asked ourselves, what if we could grow these crops locally using certified organic methods year-round and profitably? After 5 years of research and development, I would gladly say that we think we have cracked the code. And now we are ready to scale. Our Gatineau pilot farm started as an experiment 5 years ago. Today we grow more than 20 different tropical crops, from waterleaf to njama njama, to bitekuteku, to matembele, to lalo. I mostly would use those names because one thing that I realized as I started trying to grow African vegetables is that there is hardly any way that you can use maybe some of the standard names and then the next person understands or gets what you want to say. There are as many different names as there are African languages, and God alone knows that there are many. So part of the thing that we did is we did move around Africa, identified the most important crops across Nigeria, across Cameroon, generally, let's say from Central Africa, West Africa, East Africa, and to narrow that down to the most important short cycle crops, or specifically vegetables that are more important across from east to west, from south to north. So when we had that, the next step is to experiment. First, because it would take you close to 2 years to get to know whether you can do any of these crops on a commercial scale. The first year you are just planting, you want to see whether the form of, if you even have the planting material. And then when you have it, you want to plant it, you want to do that first testing. And then the subsequent year, you can now start planting quantities that could be commercial. So we set out to experiment on all of this each year, in and out, experimenting and adding to the number of crops that we have to grow. So today we can comfortably say that we have a listing of more than 20 different African vegetables, which we have tried, tested, and are being produced on commercial scale. So one of the things that I could say that we do in order to achieve this success is getting data, collecting data, doing the trials, collecting data. And our most important achievement is our data-driven blueprint, because the objective behind was not just being able to produce the vegetables, because that we have achieved, but it is saying that what we set to do differently from what most other people do is we wanted to build a pilot. We wanted to build a real practical system that keeps the data, and over years we are able to use that data to build the different protocols, different processes, such that as we are talking today, we are ready to replicate, and we are able to use that replication for scaling up at this moment. So now we are taking this model to the next level, because what we told ourselves is we can produce, we already do, and we sell. If you go online on Green Focus Farms, you could just get that on Google, Green Focus Farms, just as that. You'll be able to see our farms, and you can be able to also order online and receive that even at home. At this moment we are talking, but mostly production for the season will start from June, but we are already making pre-season sales at this moment. So we said the first objective is we want to be able to master production. That we have done. And we have been able to build a blueprint, and we can practically guide you from production, from establishing from the idea of the conception of the idea, of the business idea, working with you to build your business plan, designing your farm, and helping you to to set up the whole production process, and even up to distribution. So if we look at the broader objective that we want to achieve, is not just being able to do that ourselves. Then we're saying we want this to have an outreaching community impact. So we can do it alone and do it well, but I think that if we do it as a community, if we are able to do it together, we can be able to achieve even higher objectives. So the way we want to achieve the scaling is to go through franchising. So what would franchising bring to you as a potential franchisee? We are able to do the business planning with you, help you secure the land, the funding, the very basics from the person who conceives the idea and say, I want to do this. So you can do that with us because it's a process that we have done before. So the other point is farm setup. We can be able to design the greenhouses with you, get the equipment. One of the things you want to do, if you just set out to say, okay, I want a tractor, what dimension, where do you get it? What functionalities, which other implements do you want to attach to it? You will realize that you might have spent 40,000 to buy a tractor when you would maybe have spent 20,000. It would be very late when you would have done that. So we also want to be able to accompany you on the other aspects of infrastructural development. The third aspect would be training. Our playbooks cover the basic ABC of more than 20 African vegetable crop kinds. That is, if you were to say, at what time, first, which crop do you plant? As we are going on, we are also gathering data, gathering market demand. What kind of vegetable do people really want more? If you were to plant, how do you source the seeds? At what time do you plant which one? At what density do you plant? And all of that technicality that you have to go with from beginning to end. So you also have that training and that support that comes with you. And most critically, it is the sales. It is the sales. Sorry, I'm going behind instead of in front. Most critically, it is the sales, and that is where Fred comes in. Because Fred is going to help us connect franchisees directly to consumers. One of the things that we noticed as growers is that the grower is so involved in the farm when you're growing, when you are running a farm, because it is, most operations are really time sensitive. So you're 100% focused on the farm. So one of the biggest challenges that you would have is you have to go to the farm in the morning, and then you have to think of distribution, you have to think of marketing. The process when you have finally produced the vegetable for it to reach the consumer is really another person's job. It's a whole domain on its own. All of the marketing, reaching out to the clients, presenting the product, convincing them to understand your product, because even if you have the best product, you need to be able to get the consumer to understand. And that part of it, as a farmer, I know that is one of the things that is difficult for a farmer to do. So Fred comes just in time to fill that gap, to sort the problem so that the farmer can focus on what he does best. And I think that most people who become farmers, from my experience, if it's not something that I really liked doing, I will not be doing it. You would not attend 5 years doing it, because you definitely would have left it 2 or 3 years before. It can be challenging, it's difficult, but for me personally, it's just like another football game. So, but the other part that was, there had been times that we produce and we had the produce on hand, and we are convinced and we know that, because people are so excited when they come to the farm, they see this and they say, oh, God bless you, because this is so wonderful. But they have that. Those people are maybe in Ottawa here. Probably many people here would be hearing about Green Focus Farms. It's probably the first time, but it's been existing for 5 years. It's taken Fred to come up and just with the click of the finger, and it's going to go like wildfire probably. So it's another person's job. So Fred is coming in to bridge that gap and help farmers to do their job, to do what they can do best, so that those who are really want to do agriculture want to do farming can focus on farming. And I did, I might forget her name, I don't know why, Sylvia, I could have missed, that talked about the food processing system and all of that. Sometimes, you know, like, exactly, thank you. So it's like we are producing, but we are also isolated. You know, everybody is doing his thing in his corner. I've been for a couple of years trying to say that sometimes we produce some vegetables, we just need to slice some and package in a specific way and get it presentable. We want it to look good, we want it to be well preserved. But that's a whole food processing part of it. If you set out to find out where can I have a kitchen that is certified, you could have made the next 6 months, you don't get where you can even do which thing or the other. So creating this avenue for us to meet, to talk, and then maybe something that you've been looking for 1 year, 2 years, and within a short conversation, you can catch 1 or 2 persons. So it's really a wonderful initiative. So I would say that what next for us? We are launching our first franchisees in the next 12 months. And we want to involve farmers, and particularly to say that this is a chance for those who want to be farmers to join us. We want to also call on investors to say that investors could help us. In the next 12 months, we want to launch a first cohort of franchisees, of 10 franchisees to go with. And then also call on investors to help us scale and to attain an objective of 100 plus farmers spread around different cities. And for users to also say that Fred is the best opportunity to have fresh, organic or well-sourced vegetables for you at home. So our objective is develop the franchise, get it going within 12 months, recruit the first cohort of 10 growers, and create farms in different cities around North America, but not just there. It's a process, it's a model that we develop that we intend to expand from Canada first, probably Canada, US, but it could go beyond that. Together we can build a future where African crops grow in your backyard, where farmers thrive and communities eat healthy, fresh African vegetables that have been passed down to us by our ancestors through millennia. I think that we can make that happen. I want to thank Claudius for creating this avenue and the entire group behind the FRED for creating this avenue for us. I also want to thank Shakib of Group 3737, the different people who are always accompanying farmers. Most of the time, I have different community development actors who pull us out of the farm. They practically pull us by the horn to get us to join them and to do some of the things that to be able to do better what we are doing. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Okay.